What's up, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely day? Happy 420. It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
Um, the album that we are going to talk about, well, mixtape. I want to say this is maybe the first mixtape I've talked about on this channel. I want to say. And we're going to talk about Wiz Khalifa with Kush and Orange Juice or Kush and OJ. This was released on 2010, April 14th to be exact, on Rostrum under Taylor Gang. And producers include Big Germ, Cardo, Johnny Delano, Cashmere Royale, Sam Style, Sleegren, VVS Sound, XO, The Watchers, Big Crit, and Nesby Phillips. Guest appearances include Demi Lovato, Albarosi, Killer Kylion, Johnny Giuliano, Currency, and Big Crit, and Nesby Phillips. All right, so I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm not really the biggest Wiz Khalifa fan, to be real with you.
Right.
Um, I mostly prefer his mixtapes and stuff like that. But his albums, I'm not really a big fan of his albums. I don't like I say, you know me. I don't have a problem with people who rap about weed, but
Mhm.
at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. He was just 24/7. I'm just gonna be real. Because even with Cypress Hill, people want to say, "Oh, they rap about weed 24/7," which no, they don't.
Mhm.
It's because they talk about other shit, but at the same time, it's not. I can like tolerate Wiz Khalifa now. I'm just not like the biggest Wiz fan like a lot of these people are. But how did you get into Wiz Khalifa?
Like I want to say like the 2000s, like 08, 09. I used to see his mixtapes online, but I never paid attention to him. Like I heard the name, and there were people talking about his music, but I didn't when not until when Black and Yellow came out. That's when when that song blew up and it was everywhere, and it was like the anthem for the Pittsburgh Steelers because he's from Pennsylvania. Him and Mac Miller, and then like when I started listening to Mac Miller, he had did songs with them, and not knowing that they went to the same high school, Taylor Alladice in Pennsylvania, so they were like good friends, and they were like on each other's mixtapes and stuff, and that's basically how it was introduced. It was like basically with Mac Miller, and then when Black and Yellow came out, and that was a big hit, and then like I listened to a lot of his mixtapes, the Flight School mixtape and Deal or No Deal, and this mixtape we talking about, and just his early stuff because he was still hungry when he was also on the same label as Mac Miller, Rostrum Records back then. And when Rolling Papers came out, and I listened to that, and it wasn't a pure rap album, you know what I'm saying? And I think, at that time when he was a lot of the mixtape stuff he was dropping, it was like very commercial, very radio friendly. And I think that's the sound that he went into when he did the first album. And I thought it was dope, but I still felt like it was more alternative than a pure rap album. And I like the joint he had with Too Short on there, and Currency was on that album. And over the years I've listened to this stuff. The second album, only nigga in first class, that was dope. Um, Black Hollywood, one of his best albums to me, and but I want to say like maybe 2014, 2015. Like I didn't like after the 27 grams mixtape. I didn't really care for his stuff he was dropping. Like this recent stuff I don't care for, and it's like his content. It was like he was always rapping about the same thing. And I mean up until he hooked up with Amber Rose, and he had the kid with Amber Rose, Sebastian, and like he do have songs where he talk about fatherhood and raising Sebastian, but I feel like it's not enough. Like, and he has to expand his content with his songs, and every now and then, and he's versatile. Like he can rap, and he tried to do like the singing thing, and I know like on the Black Hollywood album he did the Promise joint where he's like really singing and then he's rapping, and he does that good sometimes, not all the time. I've heard him sometimes where he tries to sing and he sounds terrible, but um, like just being like a real big mixtape friend. Then he had a side group with Big Sean and with Currency, and they were supposed to come out with an album and never came out, but they had like songs together. And he's a very versatile artist. Like he can work with a lot of different people, and I like that about an artist that they can work with different artists and not necessarily be in the same lane with them and but I feel like there's something missing from him because like even now it's like he's been out for a minute. A lot of his peers been Drake was out at the same time and Currency, and I feel like they've excelled with their music compared to him, and I don't know, I just feel like he has to change up maybe either his sound or maybe his sound and his lyrical content,
Right,
and it can't be all about partying. You know what I'm saying? Especially now with these times that we going through. Why we can't get a Wiz Khalifa song about Black Lives Matter or something like that? Something that his young friends can relate to, and I just feel like he's no longer up there. Like even with the song, I want to say like the last great commercial hit he had was the song dedicated to Paul Walker from Fast and Furious. The "See You Again" with forgot the artist that sang on that, but that was like his last big commercial hit to me, and I'm like, he has to change it up because he's no longer on the same level as a Kendrick or a J Cole, and they've been out as long as him, and they totally went to the next level with they artistry. So yeah, I definitely think like his best stuff was his mixtapes. Like when he was real hungrier, and now that he got the money and the fame, he got the Taylor Gang record label, and he's put out Chevy Woods and other artists, and I think Juicy J at one point was on his label, and I just feel like he got to like with any other artist that get fame and fortune fast, like they start slouching and it starts to show when they work, and I think that's what's going on with him. He's not hungry no more, but I definitely think that his earlier stuff was his best stuff.
yeah, very well said in my opinion. And I pretty much agree with everything you said. Like how you feel like over time, like he just lost his hunger,
Yeah.
his spark, and whatnot, and he just trapped in a box, as I
Mm-hmm.
would say. But I got into Wiz Khalifa. I want to say maybe this mixtape. I want to say
Right.
because it was just like during high school when I was in high school. That's when like he was really starting to get really big and popular. But then that black and yellow joint blew up, and the rest is history and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like you said, it's just like he just lost his hunger.
Yeah.
He just lost what he's going. Like, I mean, he's still better than most rappers these days.
Yeah, he always could rhyme. It's just that he to me he rhyme about too much of the same thing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't hear enough of him rapping about being like he did it when Sebastian was born, but he don't do it often, and maybe it's because of the audience that he's targeting. But it's like I can hear the difference in his sound now compared to when he was hungry, 10, 12 years ago, and it's not the same Wiz. And even now, when in conversation, when people talk about like artists, artists of this era, they don't even mention Wiz. It's like he's an afterthought now.
yeah,
They'll mention Nipsey, and Nipsey is gone, and Wiz is like we forget about Wiz, and he's still alive and breathing, and nobody mentions his music.
for real.
You know?
But yeah, man. For those who don't know who Wiz Khalifa is, he is an MC from born in Minot, North Dakota, which I did not even know about. Because his parents was in the army, so pretty much he was an army brat. He relocated to like Pittsburgh around '96, and that's when of course he got into hip hop, and so he got his name from Khalifa is an Arabic word for successor, and The Wiz came from wisdom, but he shortened out to Wiz because people used to call him that when he was little.
Okay.
And so when he was pretty much getting him some out there and stuff like that, he got in contact with the Rostrum Records president Benji Greenberg, and he liked what he heard, and so he got him into like a few mixtapes and stuff like that too. And so they were working on their first mixtape, was Prince of the City, Welcome to Pennsylvania, and that mixtape paved the way for the first album called Show and Prove, and that came out in 2006. And I know a lot of publications like Rolling Stone were saying how he's an artist to watch and things of that nature. And so he signed to Warner Brothers Records, where he dropped like um, two more mixtapes, Growth Season, hosted by DJ Green Lantern, and The Prince of the City 2. And so, that was when, of course, he was popular with that song Say Yeah and whatnot. And so he parted ways with Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers was taking way too long with his album and stuff like that. So fast forward to 2010, he pretty much was still putting his name more out there. He was touring, he opened for You God at one point and things like that. And so he released a free mixtape, Kush and Orange Juice, for download and whatnot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so this mixtape was very big. I remember exactly, how big this mixtape was because people were always bumping Up and Never Been
Right.
and stuff like that too. And with today being 420, I was just like, you know what, let me not just talk about the usual Redmans and the
Mm-hmm.
Cypress Hills and the Keith Murrays, which I like those rappers
Right.
and stuff like that. But I was just like, let me just do something a little different.
And I seen somebody post up a song from this mixtape because of 420 today. So I'm like, well, this makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, it definitely makes perfect sense and
Yeah.
shit. And the album cover, it takes inspiration from the David Ruffin cover, Gentleman Ruffin, which in my opinion, probably my favorite David Ruffin album. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still mad I gave that album away, which I'm gonna get it back very soon.
Right.
Um, yeah, man. Definitely gotta talk about that album one day.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the album cover, he has a girl, sexy girl on the back. This is how you redo an album cover. I didn't know what Freddie Gibbs was doing with the Teddy album cover and stuff like that. But this is how you redo an album cover.
Yeah.
Pay homage the right way. This mixtape has 20 tracks, so let's get this shit started. Track number one, Wake and Bacon. Nice way to begin the album. Just that wake and bake. Everyone knows about that wake and bake and stuff like that too. So yeah, man, this was a pretty dope joint. Love that beat. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I thought it was a dope intro to start off, real melodic beat and the hi hats and Wiz is just it has like a real atmospheric vibe to it, like something you could smoke to on this day and just chill out and you got Wiz chiming in and he's doing the little singing up 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 in the clouds, no one pulling me down. That like when he's singing like those melodies, like I think he's good when he's doing that, but when he's trying to be like a full on singer, I'm like, no, Wiz, stay in your lane. You are a rapper. You can't do what Drake do.
Oh God. And that's what he's trying to do too. Like,
Yeah, and a lot of them were doing that. Like Mac Miller, rest in peace, Mac Miller. I love Mac Miller. He was doing it too, but Mac Miller didn't do it all the time. He picked and choose when to do it. Like if you hear a song like "Objects in the Mirror" from watching movies with the sound off, he pulled that off well. I don't know if Wiz Khalifa could do a whole song where he's singing like that, And on top of that, he had Pharrell. Pharrell did the beat, so I know Pharrell was probably teaching telling them how to sing it. So Mac Miller did that once in the blue. It's not like he considered himself like a full on singer, like a lot of them do now.
right. Yeah, man. That was a Wake and Bacon. And the next track we got is Mesmerized produced by Cardo. Very, very dope track. Crazy story was that
Hmm.
Cardo, he actually made this beat the day his daughter was born and stuff too.
Oh wow.
So yeah, man, that's very special and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, very atmospheric, very dreamy kind of song. I would say this is like one of his signature songs, if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people bump this. You know, a lot of people used to post this. You know,
Hmm.
Instagram. I mean,
Oh yeah.
this was definitely one of my favorite Wiz songs. You know, a lot
Hmm.
of personal memories came from this one.
Yeah, I remember watching the video like years ago for this, and it's definitely one of his best songs. Like I feel like it trademarks like his sound. It's real atmospheric, real melodic. The 808s you got, the bass line, real car heavy track. You know, you got Wiz saying them suckers often imitate, but they can't be us. So super high, look in the sky when you gonna see me, bruh. Cut my speakers off, drowning out what the critics say. Just continue to smoke and remain G as fuck. So I definitely think it's a dope beat by Cardo, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love this track indeed. Um, then we got "We're Done" featuring Demi Lovato. Was not a big fan of this track.
Right.
It didn't. I don't. This is fits more album Wiz than mixtape Wiz.
Hmm.
I know he was talking about following your dreams and not giving up, but it's just that beat. I'm not
Right.
even the biggest Demi Lovato fan either.
Right. Me neither. I didn't even know that was so singing on the chorus till now.
Yeah.
Because like, I believe there's a video. I remember seeing a video for this, and I don't. She's not in the video for this joint.
Oh, oh, word.
And like to me, it has like that surfer vibe to it. I hate I
Yeah,
hate to I hate to like categorize it like that, but it sounds like a song that a bunch of Cali surfers would surf to. That
exactly.
real alternative, you know, rock pop type of sound to it. And he has songs like that in his discography. I'm like this is real commercial Wiz here. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Exactly.
like I don't care for these type of songs that he do. I didn't even know that was Demi Lovato because it don't sound like her to me, but that she must have been really young when I know this was old. So she must have been like really young when it came out. But nah, I don't really care for this joint.
Yeah, I don't care for this either.
Yeah,
Then we got Skit One. I like it. I think this is the one that used the loose end sample.
no, not this one.
No, not this one. Oh
Nah,
shit, that's Skit Two.
that's the one before the Kid Frankie joint.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I know YouTube mislabeled this and shit. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was cool. We got Mr. Easy Rider as playing like a radio DJ, and he's like talking about getting blunted and get your OJ and and he's like, that's the formula for wake and bake in the morning, and it was cool. I think it fits with the theme of the mixtape. So
right. Track number five, the statement. Pretty solid track. Didn't really write really a lot of notes on that. I just felt like it was pretty solid.
right, yeah, it was dope. Nice track, nice beat. We're saying the weed is rolled, the drink is cold. It's new to you. It's to me it's old. CEO, these off-brand niggas really ain't the future, Miss Cleo. So I thought that was dope. Yeah, it was not one of my favorites, but I thought I didn't think it was whack.
I'm just gonna disclaim. I didn't really quote any quotables like
Right,
that when it comes to it, because like he's not really like a quotable rap
right,
like that. I can like, oh, go back and
right.
get to. So
Yeah, not everything on here I quoted because he's never been like that.
right. Shit. Then we at Spotlight. Ooh, Killer Kelion or whatever.
Hmm.
This was a very dope joint. I love that beat though. That beat was.
Yeah,
This should have been like a single in my opinion too.
yeah.
So yeah, I fuck with this shit.
It's real jazzy. Had a real jazzy vibe to it. Nice strings and horns, and the beat was dope. The synths on it, it was cool.
Yes, sir. And then we're gonna get to skit two where it plays that loose end sample, which y'all should know how much I love loose ends.
Yeah.
Little tribute that's this song actually introduced me to this loose ends hanging on the string song.
Oh
Believe it or
wow,
not.
that's
Yeah.
dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. Yeah, I like the skit. The skit was nice, and there's a caller that calls in and he's telling Mr. Easy Rider that he got a glass of OG and Kush waiting for him this morning. And again, it all goes with the theme of the mixtape. So
Right. Which leads us into the kid, Frankie. One of my favorite songs off this album. This is probably the closest song I might have quoted some lyrics, some quotes
right.
from him. I mean, and it's getting interesting too because of the fact that they were actually inspired by the movie The Business because there was a cat named Frankie and
Hmm.
he had an old homie called him the Kid Frankie and stuff like that too.
Right.
So they were pretty much in Spain when him and Big Germ did this track too. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah, man. Pretty dope joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That beat I've heard that same beat chopped and like slowed down and stuff like
Hmm.
that. It definitely sounded good. And
Right.
you know me, I'm not really the biggest fan of like people slowing down,
Hmm.
chopping and screwing like that. So yeah,
Right. Yeah. There's a video for this also. I like the video for that, and you know, they played this on the radio. Back then that was like a big hit for him, and I like this really smooth. I like the way that he flowed on the track. It was nice loose end sample, and Wiz is saying just another day in the life, another plain day, another plain day night, getting faded with another nigga wife, drinking hella champagne, Tanqueray with the Sprite. Then I'm up in the AM to catch another flight. So yeah, this is like one of his signature songs to me, and one of my favorites on this mixtape.
I definitely agree with you on that. Now we're gonna get into a classic up. Oh my god, this is one of my second favorite track off this album.
Yeah.
Um, dope usage of that Tevin Campbell sample. Could it be? Which again, that to this day, I'm still surprised he sampled that Tevin Campbell song and stuff like that. And it wasn't from like the I'm Ready album, wasn't from the Tevin album, it was just
Mm-hmm.
from the Back to the World, which is very again,
Right.
shout out to Wiz Khalifa for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, up pretty much a very dope track, just talking about getting high. Um, very dope track. Love the way they did that sample justice and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely one of my favorites. It was a real atmospheric type of vibe song, real laid back, real smooth. I love that Tevin Campbell sample, and he's like singing. He's doing like his melodic singing. Every time you look up, baby, I'm right there, flying in the air. So let all of your fears go. You'll spend the night alone. I love that, and we go up, up,
Uh,
up.
uh,
I love that, man. That's a dope song. Like he can do songs like that where he's not just like full 100% fully singing. He's just playing around with the melody. I think
yeah,
he's always good at doing that. But when you try to sing, he's like, no. But this is a classic song. I love it.
yeah, very dope song, classic indeed. Then we're gonna get into Never Been, which they had. I know this track uses sample. I want to say just use a sample of the Scala's theme from Chrono Trigger, and so
Hmm.
I always like when people sample video games
Right.
theme songs or scores. That's something I don't always hear,
Yeah.
but if it's done right, it's done right and stuff like that too.
Hmm.
So this has definitely been a dope track. Again, talking about never been this high and stuff like that. Pretty dope track.
Yeah, this is a dope song. I like the beat and the hi hats, and we're saying crack a window, we gonna smoke this endo. Saying that you still high from last night. You try to pass, trying to be real the fast life. Kick it with the planes, and it'll be your last flight. OJ hash, let you stumble to class. Right, the sex great. No, I don't give her no hype, no half pipe. So I thought it was a dope song. Solid track.
Yeah, solid track indeed. Then we're gonna get to In the Cut, which I'm gonna be real. This is an okay track, but I kind of got a little bored with it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you said what?
now okay.
Yeah, like I said, this is when I kind of got a little bored with like the subject matter
Hmm.
and stuff like that too. So yeah,
Yeah, I think there's a video for this also. Again, it's to me it reminds me of like something MTV would have played back in the 2000s. It has like that MTV crowd, TRL crowd for it, but I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, me neither. Had potential though. Had potential.
Right.
All right, now we're gonna get to Visions. This is again another pretty different song. I know you guys heard that sample plenty of times. All of my MF Doom people know that sample for one beer.
Right.
You know, Wiz pretty much talking about how he came up in the rap game and just how he just kept his head above water and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, pretty relatable song and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with it.
Yeah, really dope beat, nice soulful sample. You know, we're saying watch the niggas you run with. I done seen niggas you had all of their dreams fucked over some dumb shit and make no assumptions. Hotel on the Sand, the oldest pungent, blamed it on the Reaper consumption. So I thought it was a dope song. I'm like, yo, I remember that Doom joint, you know, like it showed that he can flow over like a MF Doom beat. So
Yeah, man. Definitely love that joint and stuff.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna get to I'm Still Blazing. Um, I like it, but I don't like again subject matter. So you get it, like still smoking and stuff
right,
like that. It's just like okay, nigga, all right,
right. Yeah, you know, it has like that Jamaican type of vibe to it. The bass line is like a reggae bass line, and the beat, and just give you like those island vibes, and once again, you have Wiz singing, and Wiz he's rapping as well. He's saying, and it's getting hard to see you cause my eyes low. Marijuana minutes, nigga, time slow on the Kush clock. It's always time to smoke. Say I look high. I say I'm high, bro. So yeah, it's just dedicated to weed and Kush and Kush and OJ. So
right.
yeah,
Track number 14, Slim Skit, a beat he wasted in
yeah,
my opinion.
mm-hmm,
Um, I only like just like to see this for the beat,
right,
pretty much. I didn't. He was talking about some dude named Charles, how weed affected his life. It's just like, oh, now y'all want to do a PSA announcement right now? Really? Okay. But yeah,
yeah,
that the way they flipped that Leroy Hudson sample was amazing. I wish he would have rhymed over that. You know what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah, yeah, the beat was wasted. That should have been a full track and instead of one of these skits, and we didn't need it. It
we
wasn't
didn't need it.
necessary. Yeah,
And then it led into Pedal to the Metal. Uh Again, another good but not great track. I'm being perfectly honest.
right,
Just talking about, just getting a girl, him spitting game and shit like that.
right.
I didn't care for this.
Yeah, I mean it was. I didn't care for the dude singing on it. I think the dude on the chorus was terrible. He sounded like T Pain a little bit,
Oh
and
God.
with the auto tune, didn't care for that. I like the 808s and the bass line, and Wiz saying, and I'm 100%. Them other niggas trying to fake it. Self-made G millionaire in the making, boss of my team, bringing home the bacon. Your nigga falling off, you need a replacement. So there's you kicking game to a girl, regular type of shit. So
Right. Track number 16, Good Dank. My opinion, my favorite song off this album.
right,
You know, he's talking about also like the people he can't trust, his haters and whatnot. And, he just how he smokes weed
right,
just, to be cool about it. Just to like he smokes weed just to cope with it and stuff like that. He's not really worried about it.
right.
Yeah, pre-dope. So that beat again is fire
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Love the fact that this really wasn't wasted and shit. So yeah,
Yeah, it was a cool beat. I definitely thought it was a solid track. Underrated.
yeah, very underrated. I didn't really care for the third
The,
skit to be real.
yeah, I didn't care for that. The skits, I get it, but I've never been a fan of skits unless they really went well with the album. So I think there's a little bit too many skits on here.
Right. Track number 18, The Glass House featuring Big Crit and Currency. Pretty solid joint in my opinion. This solid joint. This is really like once the first time a lot of people probably heard Big Crit and stuff like that. And I felt like he definitely did his thing on this joint.
Right.
Currency and Wiz, they did it thing, but yeah, Crit, he probably had one of the best lyrical moments on this album, on his mixtapes, and that's
Yeah.
saying something.
And the track has like a southern bounce to it. I love the
Yeah,
beat. and the bass line was dope. The hi hats and
like a UGK feel to it.
right, yes, like UGK and having Big Crit on it. Big Crit, I think, is underrated as an artist and producer, and it was dope. He had like a dope verse and currency. I've always liked currency as well, and Wiz saying get it twisted, cause you see me on your computer screen thinking cause you got wild that you get as high as us. Bitches leaving their lame niggas to ride with us. Planes over everything in the fly we trust. And I thought those are some dope lines by him. It was like a nice collab. Like I liked it.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that. The outro track 19, just it was alright,
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
But
It
then
was okay.
you have another track called Supply. This was pretty. This was pretty cool too,
Right.
and stuff like that. Where he was really flowing on this one. So yeah, pretty solid way to end off the album.
Yeah. Yeah, it was dope. Him and it was the dude Nesby or something like that.
Yeah,
He was.
yeah,
Yeah, it was dope. They sound like they were freestyling though, but it was a good track and a great way to end the mixtape.
yeah. I agree. So overall, this is a pretty good mixtape. I know a lot of people call it a classic. I do admit it does have a little bit of filler in it, and
Right.
if this is like probably your first time listening to Wiz, one might get bored, for the constant, mentioning weed all the time and stuff like that.
Right.
Which I know is Wiz's thing and stuff, but at the same time, it's just like you can switch it up once in a while and stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I agree.
But yeah, man, I definitely felt like it's a pretty enjoyable tape. I would probably give it like a 4 out of 5 in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Wiz Khalifa fan, but
Right.
yeah, this one he definitely did his thing on this one.
That's great. Great. Definitely one of his best mixtapes. Is I think is some songs that embody what who he is. Like Up and Kid Frankie and Glass House. Like those songs and he had the radio friendly joints that I didn't care for, but I never really cared for like those outright radio joints from him. I liked it better when he was like just mainly the hip hop and yeah, I thought it was a solid production. He got some solid songs. And yeah, definitely one of my favorites. I definitely would give it 4.5. But like I said, like he has great like Cabin Fever. Those mixtapes were great. Deal or No Deal was just as good. So like his mixtapes are like always strong.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that.
Yeah,
And that concludes our Wiz Khalifa mixtape, Cushion Orange Juice. Thank you so much for doing this with me, bro.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, man. So this was just hopefully this is gonna be uploaded by later on this afternoon. So hope y'all will enjoy it.
Yes,
And make sure y'all subscribe and like this video, and I will see y'all later. Peace.
yeah, peace.